guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick review of the TrayMinder app for Apple Watch. As you may or may not know, I just recently got an Apple Watch SE for Christmas, and I've really been enjoying just the whole experience. It's my first ever Apple Watch, so it's just really interesting being able to see the cool things that it can do. It's really motivated me fitness-wise, so that's been great. And it's also made a lot of things sort of a lot more convenient. One thing that I was probably most excited about when it came to getting my Apple Watch was being able to control the TrayMinder app from my watch. So that's something that I was super excited to be able to do, because I can't tell you how many times I have misplaced my phone and then I have to sort of like remember when I took my trays out so that I can, you know, input it into my TrayMinder app later on. It's just a big hassle. At least this way, my watch is always on my wrist, so I can just easily tap and sort of say, yeah, I'm wearing my trays or I'm not wearing my trays, whatever the situation is. So yeah, going into this whole thing, I was super duper excited to be able to use the TrayMinder app for Apple Watch. But unbeknownst to me, there were a lot of sort of roadblocks and things that happened along the way. So I'm just going to sort of share my story and my experience with the app with you guys. I do want to start off by saying I have definitely found it super duper useful, even though some of the features of the Apple Watch app aren't working exactly the way that they seem to be intended to. It's still really convenient to be able to control that and have that, you know, on my wrist at all times. So I've definitely still been enjoying being able to use the app. So rewinding, I guess, all the way back to Christmas Day when I actually opened my watch and the entire fiasco that ensued with that, definitely check out my Apple Watch unboxing video if you want to find out what the heck I'm talking about there, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. But yes, so I opened the watch, I set it up, and obviously the very first thing that I did was search for and download the TrayMinder app. Once I downloaded the app and opened it on my Apple Watch, it basically just gave me a little pop-up saying that I needed to purchase the Apple Watch extension from the TrayMinder app. Now, here in Canada anyway, that extension is about $2.79, which I think is totally worth it. So I did go ahead and purchase that extension and then popped on over back to my watch, opened the app, and it still said that I needed to purchase the Apple Watch app. And that went on for quite a few days, actually. I thought, you know, okay, maybe it's not working right now. Maybe it's just going to take some time to process. The next day it was the same thing. The day after that it was the same thing. And I was just starting to get really frustrated at that point. I ended up reaching out to the TrayMinder people on Instagram, and they gave me a couple of suggestions, but nothing actually ended up working. I wasn't actually able to get the app to launch, so it was basically just, I felt anyway, $3 down the drain. About 2 days after I had purchased the app and still not been able to use it, I went into my iTunes account on my phone to check that, you know, it had actually gone through. That being said, like, I did get a receipt and everything saying that I had purchased the app, so I was just really confused. But when I went in, it actually still said pending. Like, it didn't show the order confirmation like it usually does for paid apps. So once I saw that, I was kind of thinking, okay, you know what, this is probably just a delay, because again, it was around the holidays. I'm sure a lot of people were getting new Apple devices and downloading apps and stuff. So yeah, there ended up just being like a crazy delay on the App Store side of things. So I'm going to say about 3 or 4 days after I had paid for and downloaded the Apple Watch app, only then was I actually able to start using it. Once I was able to open the app and get everything to sync though, it was fine. One other thing that I had to do to actually get everything working properly was go into settings on the TrayMinder app on my phone and select force sync. So basically that just force sync the data between my phone and my Apple Watch so that everything would show up fine on the Apple Watch app. Now, one thing that I will mention at this point is that if you're expecting the Apple Watch app to do everything that your phone app can, you will be disappointed. The Apple Watch app is definitely a really pared down version of the TrayMinder app, and I would say it's only like the absolutely necessary things that you're able to see and do from your watch. That being said, for me, that is all that I needed when it came to the Apple Watch app, so I'm really happy with it. So I'm just going to take you guys through the different functions that you're able to perform on the watch itself. When you open it up, you end up on this screen right here. At the top there, in big numbers, it shows you how long your trays have been on for the day. Just below it, it says out, and then how long your trays have been out. I'd say the layout looks pretty similar to the iPhone app, so that's good. At the bottom there, there's just a little bar. That entire space is the button that you can press to like pause when you are taking your aligners out, or to play once you put your aligners back in. And that is basically, you know, the extent of the TrayMinder app for Apple Watch. So basically, if I go ahead and click here, then it will pause, and I would use that obviously when I have my trays out. That way it's not counting that time as wear time for that set of trays. If I click on it again, then I'm saying that I'm putting my trays back in. One thing that I will note here is that I have gotten in the habit of not setting a timer when I start it from my Apple Watch, just because I find there is some like little quirk in the clock syncing between my watch and my phone, where say I put my trays back in, everything is fine, it shows that I'm wearing them on the watch app and on my phone app, but the watch keeps sending me notifications telling me to put my trays back on. So I keep thinking, oh, well, I guess I forgot to go ahead and click to say I put my trays back on. So I open the app and it says that my trays are on. So that is one thing that I found a little bit weird. Not life or death, like not detrimental to my enjoyment of the app, but I just find that I tend not to set a timer when I'm starting it from my app. So that's something to keep in mind as well. One other thing that you can do from the Apple Watch version of the app, if you go ahead and hold down on the watch face here, it gives you the option to switch aligners. It'll say I'm currently wearing, and then you can select which set of aligners you are currently on. And you'll see that the one that you're currently wearing is indicated by that little green check mark as well. Just in case you weren't sure, you can go ahead and click on the next one, and then it'll update both in the Apple Watch app and your phone app as well. The other thing that I have done with my watch is I've created my own watch face and included the TrayMinder app as a complication on that main watch face. Basically what a complication is with Apple Watch is just a little like widget or button that you can include on a watch face that links you to a certain function or a certain app that you have installed on your watch. So in the bottom right hand corner of my watch, I have the TrayMinder complication, and from the watch face you can see a little circle. The number in the middle of the circle is how many full hours I've been wearing my aligners for the day, and then it is green to indicate that I'm currently wearing my aligners, and the little like circle is filled up based on how much I've worn my aligners on that particular day. If I had my aligners out, the little circle would be red, just to indicate, you know, just by a quick glance that I currently have my aligners out in the app. So that I have found super useful as well. One thing that I will mention with the complication for my watch face is that until very recently, until the most recent update of my Apple Watch, this actually hasn't worked at all. That circle wasn't there at all. It was just two white lines. For some reason, it just didn't want to sync with my watch face, but I'm glad to say that as of yesterday, when I updated my watch, it is actually working perfectly fine. So I'm super happy about that, because it's just even more convenient. I can just quickly glance at my watch face and see, one, whether or not I'm wearing my aligners, and two, how many hours I've worn them for that day. So yeah, super useful. I'm also pretty sure that I can move that TrayMinder complication to the middle of my watch face, and it'll display it a little bit differently. So I will definitely show you guys a clip of that if I can manage to film one as well. But with that, that is basically TrayMinder for Apple Watch. Super quick, simple, easy. I personally have found that it has been super duper convenient for me. I really love this app, and especially since everything has recently started working the way that it's intended to, it's just been really convenient and really easy to use. Now, as you have seen from this walkthrough of how to use the app. It's not extensive, it doesn't do nearly as much as the actual phone application does, but in terms of, you know, being able to do things right from your wrist, it's super easy, and really you don't need to be able to do any of the other things that you do from the phone app. I feel like the Apple Watch app does everything that it needs to do, and it's just a lot more convenient than having to carry my phone around everywhere as well. In my opinion, despite the fact that it is a paid app extension for the free TrayMinder app, I definitely think that it is totally worth the not even $3. If you don't already have the TrayMinder app for your phone, then I would definitely recommend that. And check out my TrayMinder video. I have a separate video on the actual app itself, so definitely check that out if you are interested in being able to track your wear time from your phone. So yeah, with that, that is everything that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions or comments related to the app, definitely leave them down below and I will answer them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!